Hey there, guess what? Orange County is breaking housing records. Do you know why? Well, we're going to tell you right now on Tustin Talks. This is Dean Odell with Seven Gables Real Estate in the Odell Group, and we are going to talk about the Orange County market today. We're going to do that by looking at the analytics. So let's get started on our first chart now. Let's start by looking at the active listing inventory year over year. We currently have 2,076 homes on the market. That is an increase of 34 homes in the last couple of weeks, and that is not enough. Last year at this time, there were 2,104 homes on the market. As always, to compare our data to a more normal market, we like to take a look at the 3-year average between 2017 to 2019, when it was 6,002 homes on the market, which is 189% higher than where we are now. Next, we look at the Orange County demand year over year. In the last 30 days, we've had 1,706 homes go into escrow, which is up 43 pending sales since our last update. This is the lowest end of April reading we've had since the lockdown in 2020. Last year, there were 2,154 pending sales, which is 26% higher than where we are now. And prior to 2020, the 3-year average was 2,780, which is 63% higher than where we are today. Next, we're going to look at expected marketing time. Currently, our days on the market for Orange County is only 37 days, which is a hot seller's market again. Last year, we were also in a hot seller's market at 29 days, only 8 days faster than our current numbers, and the 3-year average prior to 2020 was 65 days. Now let's move on to my favorite chart, which is the expected marketing time broken down by price range. If you're a buyer or seller in Orange County, this is the best way to see what's going on in your price range. As you can see, not every price range has that average marketing time at 37 days like we saw in the last chart. Everything up to $2 million is taking 46 days or less on average and is considered a hot seller's market right now. The $2 to $4 million range is a slight seller's market at 72 days. The $4 to $6 million range dropped from 212 days to 116 days in the last couple of weeks, putting it in a balanced market for the first time since last year. The $6 million and up range is still a deep buyer's market at 353 days. Now, the one thing you will notice about this chart, when you look at over 1.5 million and you compare the percent of current inventory versus the percent of current demand, that's where you're going to notice that the inventory is actually less than the demand in all of those price ranges. Whereas when you go up the chart, going all the way back to the lowest price ranges, you will see that that is not the case. In those price ranges, you can see that the demand is actually higher than the current inventory. Okay, for many of you guys who watch Tustin Talks, you know that I've been doing this real estate gig here for about 33 years, okay? I've never seen a market like this. This market is so hard to understand in terms of how is it going to get back to normal? What is going to cause this to happen? So let me just explain to you quickly, all right? I want you to think about the fact that we only have 2,000 homes that are even for sale, and we only have about 1,700 that are going into escrow. Both those numbers are historically low, but the relationship between them, supply and demand, makes this market feel as if it's still moving very quickly, and it is, but what's going to really slow it down? Looking at the fact that our expected marketing time is now 37 days, and it takes 90 to 120 days of expected marketing time to get back to a normal market, and understanding that that expected marketing time is a function of supply and demand, we look at those current inventory numbers and the demand numbers and we say, you know what? This is going to have to triple to quadruple inventory to get back to a normal market. Or we're going to even have to have demand go down further, like 1/3 to 1/4. I mean, this is just math, right? I mean, that's what it is. So you have to say to yourself, well, geez, we're already at absolutely historical low demand. 1,700 homes. There's 620,000 homes in Orange County that could be sold if they were all for sale at the same time. So 1,700 is not a lot of escrows going on for that many homes that are out there. And there's only like 2,000 for sale, right? So what's going to make all this inventory hit the market? Okay, well, there's a couple options here, right? I mean, we could have like, I don't know, a super bad recession that scares people out of their houses and lets them say, hey, you know what? I don't care if I have a 3%, 4% mortgage. I'm out of here. I'm done. I don't have a job, right? Well, I don't know how likely that is. That's going to triple or quadruple inventory. Probably the more likely scenario is if interest rates drop because we are in a recession, then what's going to happen is sellers are going to say, you know what? I hate to leave my 3 to 4% mortgage, but if I can get 4.5 or 5, and I can improve my living situation, because hey, let's face it, people's lives change. You know, you get a small house, you have your first kid, next thing you know, you got 3 or 4 kids. What are you going to do? I mean, people have the need to move. They just don't want to move right now. And this demand is stacking up. The demand to sell, but nobody wants to do it because they're in love with their mortgages. So likely scenario that I see is when interest rates start dropping, people will get on with their lives and say, hey, I can't have that rate anymore, but you know what? I got to move on. Right now, the discrepancy is too big. People are saying, I'm not going to move for 3%. Will they move for 2? Will they move for 1.5? I think that's what we're going to find out. And that's what we're waiting for, because that is the only thing I see that is going to change this relationship of supply and demand enough to get this market moving again and stabilize prices. So that's my thoughts on what's going to change this market. We're going to wrap that up now, and we are going to move to what we are seeing out there over the last few weeks, even in our own business. We're seeing 4 offers on the $2 million price range. We're seeing 6 offers on the $1.3 million price range. The week before that, we had 13 offers on the 1.2 price range. So there's just too many buyers for the amount of homes that are on the market. And the only way to get more homes on the market is get these sellers to put their homes on the market, and they're going to need to be motivated to do that. So either we got to see some capital gains tax legislation change, interest rates drop, something major is going to have to happen, and this is not a healthy market. And hey, we love your comments. Keep them coming. Keep subscribing, and we will see you next week when we dive a little deeper into the Tustin market, as that new data is due out any day, and we'll be talking about it. So we'll see you then.